Okay, back to the box here with the battery and the daggum fuse box. Sorry. I tucked this main line back behind the side so I could pop this thing out to get her almost out. She's almost out. And by lifting on this wire harness right here and lifting up these wires here, pulling this thing up, I've managed to get the top part out up this far. I think from there you'll be able to pull it out. Okay, so I noticed, and when pulling this up, I need more room here from these cables. Get behind the box here. So I thought, well, okay, where's the, okay, they're right there. Let's take out these two bad boys. There's two of them. I'll go from there. In addition to these two, you might want to get this one, these two, and certainly this one way back there. Okay, next objective is this bracket. Looks like 2 bolts here. Bolts for this coolant line. And there's one, and there's one. Let's get those off. Probably 10 millimeters, I bet. All right, let's work on this bracket. All right, next thing after the bolts, holding on that bracket. There is a plastic clip right back here. Two of them. Okay, here. And then over here. Push it through. On the side right there. Like that. Just pop these brackets out and flip to the side. These in here. Pop them up. Alright, bracket comes out. 4 bolts. Alright. I think if I loosen up these connections here, all these pull pins, I could not have to take this off. I could just take these front magnets off, disconnect this here and there, and then pop this off. It should move that out of the way. Let's see. These tabs, you just flip them up and you squeeze it right underneath it with your thumb. Pull, rotate it, pop them right out. This one of them. 2 more. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. Right. And moving on with getting this wire loose. There's one of them numbers. Two more pins. One right here. Loosen up this line so I can pull it forward. And there's one right there. Following the electrical line down underneath the Jeep, you'll find some fasteners. You'll find another clip. And squeeze it right there at the very top. Just squeeze it and pull. Fastener here. Fastener there. There's a sensor right here that needs to be taken out. And there's a fastener right here. Pop them off. You can pull this whole line all the way through the top. and out of the way. After you're done disconnecting it from the bottom of the engine, you see it dangling down there. You pop this one off right there. Oh, sorry. Where is that? Down there. There it is. Down there. That one. And at the alternator, pull that key out, push it down, pull it out. And we'll get this off. All right, got it disconnected at the alternator. And at the magnets over here, except for this one right there. You just squeeze it. And that's correct. Squeeze it. Yeah, it won't turn off. Squeeze on this one. Squeeze the plate. All right. I should be able to come out. We've got a couple of hang-ups down here. Needs to be rewired, taped anyway. This plastic crap is junk. It just falls apart, like it gets all over the place. It's all in there. I'm going to vacuum that out. Let's move this line out of the way. I think it's a vacuum line. Anyway, I put this canister on top of the fuse boxes, and then I move this line right here, going under here. I flipped it up over the dipstick here. Okay. So now it just comes right out. Or it should just come right out. There we go. Now that shit's out of the way. Thank you very much. The next thing we're going after here is this line right here. Goes back to the PVC back there. Try to pop that out. We'll see what happens. Okay, finally got these two screws off the PVC valve at the very back. Had to makeshift some tools. One of these. And do a little one of those. Go from the top, bust it with that, and get it out with this one, and then reach from the bottom, bust it with that, and get it out with this one. Okay, folks, listen, just a reminder. All this right here used to be covered with this plastic. It gets hot and it crumbles off and falls everywhere. It's everywhere. That stuff you do not want to get in the valve covers. Look, this is just a little bit of it that I've blown from underneath the car. It's all come off of it since I've been working on it. So vacuum this good, vacuum it out, and then before you take off that cover. Okay, got it all vacuumed out. Next thing it is, I'm not going to take these hoses off. I'm going to leave them on. So I just put this tie on it just to pull it back out of the way a little bit so I can get to it. Next thing, I'm take the engine or ignition coils off. Take this sensor off. What is that? A cam shaft sensor. And then take off the cover. Oh, no, I'll get these magnets. Take those off. And go from there. T20. This right here. 3 here. 3 there. All right, we're doing the engine ignition coils. This is a T30 for the cam sensor. Using a 5/16 or a 8mm. Is it outside in the middle? It's the outside in the middle. Okay, one last thing before I take off the valve cover here on this side. So I went ahead and taped up this main power line. Taped it fixed here, did that. Here, went ahead and fixed this there. Through this part. And a couple other pieces right through there. I don't want any of those things falling in there. Now I'm going to push it out of the way and try to clear this up and then pop off the cap. Okay, I got the passenger side valve cover off finally after disconnecting this clamp for the dipstick here. Give more space, and careful not to hook this wire right here. I imagine kept these on, but I just pushed this over to the side, but I got it off. Difficult part is this right there. This tube right back there. You see that? That daggum tube's a little trouble. So you have to lift it, push it back, and then come on with it. Okay, now let's take a look at this one. I found the ticky lifter, rocker on the other side. This one is right here. The lobes are in the same spot. This one is tight, not moving. This one, not good, wasted. You mark your caps before you take them off. You want to mark the timing chain here. Make sure if it ever gets off. You just use a Sharpie. Just mark it here. Mark it there. Just make sure they're just same places. And you do your caps. Put direction facing forward. And mark them 1, 2, 3, 4. These are eyes. 1 eye, 2 eye, 3 eye, 4 eye. Intake. These are E's for exhaust. 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. The first thing you do is you break them all loose. Start from the go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just break them loose. These don't come out. Leave those in. All right. Got these. Broke them all off. Started on the inside. Then I did the outside. Last one's here. Last car to pass. Here I go. And a line of cars go down real slow. I don't know. Dual overhead cam. I don't know. A weird situation, huh? Once you got all the caps off, you loosen this one up. Everything's marked. Get a 27 down there, right there. And you turn the engine. Use this and you turn the engine. When you turn it, your cams are going to start to move around. And these lobes will push down here, lifting up space between the cam and the rocker arms and the lifters. You'll be able to pull them out. Okay, I went ahead and took out the spark plugs on both sides, just to make it a little easier. So when I'm turning this main crankshaft around, so I didn't have to lift the cam at all, and I got 3, 4 come right out. So I haven't even turned it but just once, and I got that many out. Small amount of lifting for this one, tiny bit. It's a crowbar here now. Be very careful. Be sure you just using it here, not on the lobes, not where there's resistance in use, only on the parts here. You can use it to lift it up just a little bit, and then use your magnet to pull it out. Turn this slowly until your lobes point down, which give you the most lift off the saddle here that you need. I took a pry bar right here, easily right here and here, barely lift it upward. On this one, and they came right out. The lifter's out. It has to be clear between here and here. So not only does it has to be on the lobe that lifts it, but it has to be on the lobe that lifts it and gives it clear from these lifters to come out. So I'm moving it to the back one here so I can reach this center lifters here. Slowly turn. Real slow. What I shouldn't do is let's try that. See if I can break this. Close. I have to lift it. We'll try it. Lifting it with the pry bar and getting. Okay, so I went ahead and changed all of these rocker arms on the exhaust side. Also got the lifters here, 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 and here. But I left these 2 there because I didn't want to have to pop this thing up to get to that. It's too dangerous. So here I am. I'm pulling out these rocker arms from 1, 2, 3 right here. This one is wasted. Oh, oh, oh. What the hell? Oh, oh, oh. Come on, yo. If you don't mind, don't be a hoe. Same as the other one. Okay, we got 2 of these rocker arms. Here's another one. Let's see if we can slip it in there with a one-handed slip-a-doody-doo. Make sure it's in the right place. That's what she said. So right on top of the cylinder right there. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, hello. Well, that's not that one. That one. Oh, shit. Right there on top. All right, that's 2 lifters, 2 rockers, 2 lifters, 2 rockers. Now we got to turn it to get these lobes up here to get those out. Get our Torx T30 and go back, tighten all these things down, tighten them snug, flat all the way, and then we're going to torque them at 89 inch-pounds. All right, now we're on the other side. First thing we do, same thing. We just break all the bolts, do the inside, and then we do the outside. I'll start with this cam down here. Loosen this up. Not take it out though. Just loosen it up. Put it all the way out. Got these 2 out. Third one here. Here we go. First one to pull out. Not good. Okay, well, the 2 center rocker arms came right out. Lifters are still stuck in there. So I'm going to turn it where these lobes are facing down to lift it up the cam so I can get out those 2 rocker arms and possibly the other lifters. All right, well, I found the right lobe position perfectly right there. And got to that, pulled it out, put in a new one, new one, new one, new one. And now, for your viewing pleasure, expertise. That's how it's done, son. No, let's not do it. Let's just do this one. El perfecto. Okay. Got those rockers in. Now then, what I did, I turned it back counterclockwise, back up here to my markings, just so the lobes on the very back end are the furthest down, lifting it up off of this one right here. And I got just enough clearance there. I think I have just enough clearance. Maybe I'm gonna get this one. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, how about you, baby? All right, I got the rockers in place. Whoops, rockers in place on this side. I'm going to move the camshaft back where it started, maybe a couple more turns over. Then I'll put the caps back on, tighten them down, hand tight, or not torque them down, but and then work on this other side. Okay, let's see how many loose are at the top without even turning anything. Look at this back one, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Ooh, hey. Wait a minute, bro. I have to go fishing. Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, fishy, fishy. Oh, baby. Oh, come on now, no problem. Come on now, you and me now. You know you want to, baby. Come on. Oh, come on now. Don't be playing with my games. Come on now, my games. Alright, we're going to make some lobe situations. All right, replace these two rockers and the two lifters without even taking off the caps. So I went and take off the caps, and now I'm going to switch it to the lobe highest here so I can get to these bad boys. I just moved it counterclockwise just a little bit, just enough to where this center lobe is away from the rockers, and the rockers come right out. We'll be able to get to those though. Okay, this lobe's just a little bit in the way right here. So we're going to give it a little turn. Just a little bit. Wait. I want this. Just a little bit more. That's the highest point. It may come out right there. Let's see. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not over this one. Oh yeah, baby. There you go. Yeah, there you are. Stuck there. There you go, baby. Don't drop down that hole. All right, keep on working. All right, some more fun. Well, it doesn't look easy, doesn't it? All right, brand new rocker arm is freshly oiled. I'm going to get to these last two here. We're going to move a little bit more counter. We're going to go clockwise with it. For these lobes down, lift it up these. Okay, we turn it back clockwise so the center lobes are down furthest, giving us enough room to get these bad boys out. 1, 2. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, really? It's gonna be that easy, baby. It's gonna be that easy. All right. Baby, you are that easy. Oh, baby, you're so easy. You're so easy. Wait, it ain't that easy. It's a pain in the ass, actually. And that battery cover was a pain in the butt, that's for sure. Sweet. All right. All right, get your T30 torque wrench, 89 inch-pounds. That converts divided by 12 to around 7.58 or 9 foot-pounds. All right, okay, so we're gonna get the valve covers, take out these old grommets, and we'll pop this. Be sure to use a razor blade to clean off excess gasket material here, and also on the cover as well. All right, got the new gaskets in. New, what are these bushings and grommets for the spark plug tubes. And we're gonna see if we can fit this thing in there. Pulled that back, got it out of the way. We'll work on it. All right, we got the cover on, gasket in. These are 8mm bolts. Okay, right here, I cleaned out these gaskets. And I'm gonna replace these on, these are Torx T20s. All right, got these in. Then we get to the PVC valve, it just slides back, twist in there sideways, drops in there. Then you're gonna need your fancy dancy makeshift tools to get those in. All right, we'll get the camshaft sensor back in place. And that is another T30. All right, so I made all the electrical connections. There. The fuel injectors, 1, 2, 3, and then on the push cap holders, there was 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one there. I'll get these two, plug up those lines, and then this that goes underneath the vehicle. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on this PVC pipe in the back. Looks like it needs a little work, so I'll fix it up first. All right, got the PVC in there. And a little repair job right there, my own. Thank you very much. And next thing you know, we're gonna work on these electrical lines. Go ahead and get these connected, and all the way up underneath the car. Tighten up to the dipstick bracket right there. Okay, now for this bracket, I'll put this back in here, come up from underneath it. Show the bolts. Alright, got the bracket in place, everything's tightened down. These all back in, this wire's going all the way down to the bottom. Ready to put this thing back inside here. So we got, probably come in from this way. Okay, so we got the battery tray back in. And I found the best way to do that is go in here, pop this top off, take off that. I think it's a 1/2 inch. And this, I think it's 8mm. This line runs underneath it, and this line runs above it. You take those off, and the whole thing just sits right in. Tighten it all up, push all the push pins back in, wherever I can find them. Here, there, I seem to be able to sew it all together. And we're going to leave this loose right here until we're getting her all buttoned up. All right, on your next valve cover, clean it up real good. Take your grommets out, replace them, replace your gasket, and smack it back in. All right. Got the case on this one. Gasket sealant. Torquing down 8mm bolts to 100 inch-power, 112 inch-power. Got the cam sensor in, hooked up. Plug this PVC valve in. Get these electrical components hooked up. Ignition coils. All right, we got the ignition coils in. Got the magnets on. Put on a couple of brackets. Hooked up all the electrical cables, all the pins. Replaced the gaskets here. Reinserted this thing together. Got these cables out of the way. I think we're ready to put the intake on. All right, folks, that's it. Got it all back together. Change the oil, spark plugs. Basically a tune-up job. Hope yours goes as smooth as mine did. God bless, take care.